When you think of Beijing, you probably picture the golden roofs of the Forbidden City or the famous Great Wall. But there's another site on the city's outskirts, far more modest. Yet, to the Chinese people, it's arguably more important. It's where our story truly begins. In China, when a student turns 13 and opens their first junior high history book, Chapter 1 starts here. It is about the very first groups of people to call this land home. To understand the Chinese identity, we have to travel back much further, way back to 1.7 million years ago. From the Yuanmou Man in the lush south to the Lantian and Yunxian Man in the central river valleys, early human trails have been discovered all across this land. These scattered fossils prove that even in the deepest mists of time, this vast land was already a buzzing hub of early human life. Fast forward to about 700,000 years ago at Dragon Bone Hill near Beijing. Here, Peking Man achieved a world-changing breakthrough. Physically, they were a bridge to the modern world, walking upright with limbs like ours, while skillfully crafting stone tools to hunt and gather in the wild. But their greatest breakthrough was hidden in the cave floor. Layers of ash, burned stones, and charred bones. This is the smoking gun, proving that Peking Man had mastered the use of fire. By using it for warmth, protection, and cooking, they didn't just survive the elements. They fundamentally improved their chances of survival, marking a true milestone in human history. By 30,000 years ago, the Upper Cavemen appeared in the same region. They were no longer just hunters. They were artists and tailors, sewing clothes with bone needles and crafting ornaments. They lived in egalitarian communities, a prehistoric utopia where everything was shared. I know students everywhere also learn about ancient mankind. But for China, there's a unique sense of continuity. Because our civilization has remained consistent, we don't see these ancient people as alien fossils. We see them as the first version of ourselves. Some things simply never changed. For example, eating is still our top priority. For our ancestors, knowing what to pick and how to cook was the difference between life and death. Today, that survival instinct has evolved into a national obsession with planting and cooking. Have you ever noticed, if a Chinese person sees a patch of empty soil, even on a tiny balcony, their first instinct isn't to grow flowers, but to plant vegetables. People greet each other by asking if they've eaten. We've even taken this to the Tiangong space station. Then there's the need for shelter. For Peking Man, a cave was a sanctuary. Today, that drive is why Chinese people are so focused on owning property, a place to settle down and call home. Before you go, I'll share one simple Chinese character with you. Today's character is 人. It means human being. This is the ancient version of this character. It illustrates a side profile of a person standing, leaning slightly forward with arms extended, suggesting being a human being means showing empathy and kindness to others, something that set them apart from wild animals. The character has evolved along the history, and now it looks like this. That's all for today. See you in the next one.